What's going on, YouTube? Today we have some very exciting news regarding Phasmophobia with another development preview. In this dev preview, we're going to be talking about Grafton Farmhouse Rework. Yes, we have a release date, and it's closer than you think. We're going to be talking about the redacted brand new map that was showed off in the beginning of the year, that was blurred out, and everybody's been trying to figure out what it is up until this point. And yes, it's going to be releasing this year. And we'll be showing some screenshots for both of these maps and talking about what's to come for the rest of 2025 and into 2026 as well, with the development Trello board that's open to the entire public to see in case you haven't been looking at it yourself for updates. So let's get into it. The introductory paragraph here of the development preview gives you a little bit of an insight of what we're going to be talking about. It says, this time around we're focusing on maps, including Phasmophobia's next brand new map, Nell's Diner. To everybody out there that thought that redacted map, that blurred out image was a diner, you are 100% correct. And we'll be showing you exactly in this video, you could have found out the Easter egg to tell you what the map was before this point. Because on one of the maps in Phasmophobia, there is a hint telling you what the map was. So if you haven't found it to this point, I'm going to show you where it is in a second. But before we show you that Easter egg in game, let's get through the information about Grafton Farmhouse as far as the dates of when you can expect the rework, when official content creators are going to be able to show it all for you with early access, and when Twitch drops will be returning. Yes, Twitch drops are coming back indeed for more miscellaneous things for you to be able to obtain in Phasmophobia. So Grafton Farmhouse Reworks, it says, to kick things off, we're excited to announce that our new rework Grafton Farmhouse will be launching August 12th, 2025 for all platforms. That's including console and PC. We are also excited for players to experience this new look map, which now offers a completely different experience to its sister farmhouse and recently reworked Bleasdale. Check out for some screenshots below, and I will be showing way more screenshots to this at the end of the video. So if you see here, this is the front of Grafton Farmhouse. It is very run down. It looks significantly different than it does right now. And I'm preparing everybody by letting you know that this farmhouse is abandoned. It's basically deteriorating. You're going to be able to see the outside. The roof's going to be collapsing in. There's going to be walls missing. It's going to be looking very scary. So I would definitely be going in with the expectation to be expecting something totally different than Bleasdale, which is a very upscale farmhouse. So they're meant to be totally different. But that does not mean that there's not going to be little Easter eggs connecting the two things together. It goes on to say that now home to the aftermath of something truly harrowing, Grafton Farmhouse has seen better days. Players conducting investigations will encounter a layout that, while feeling wholly familiar, offers a ton of new experiences, as well as brand new attic spaces and new interactions and more. So you can expect from this map to have brand new interactions that you may never have seen on other maps, and more things to explore that are not available on other maps as well. And I want you to always go into these rework maps with the understanding and remembering that we are reworking these maps, and the development team is reworking these maps to prepare for something much bigger in Phasmophobia. It's not simply being reworked for the sake of rework. It's being reworked to be able to allow the ghost to interact with more than they ever could before. You have to update asset models to be codable and to be interactable by the ghost. So in 2026, if a future of Horror 2.0, which has been teased already by the development team, is ever to be realized, they need to rework the maps to be more updated than they were in 2020 when the game first came out. So this is a natural progression, and you always should keep that in mind, that things just have to change over time. So don't get discouraged, don't get upset that there's these rework maps coming out. It's all for a greater cause, and it will all have a purpose, I promise. To celebrate the launch of the rework Grafton Farmhouses, we're partnering with our Kinetic Games partners, like myself, to offer the community the chance to get an early sneak peek at the map via preview streams taking place on August 7th and August 8th. Full details can be found by reading through this blog that we're going through right now, and there's going to be more blogs coming from the official dev team themselves. Now, I can confirm for you right now, as an official Phasmophobia partner, that I will be streaming on August 7th, this upcoming Thursday, the brand new rework Grafton Farmhouse with early access. You can expect me to be going live on Twitch at _rotatorship around 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to be saying official goodbye to the old Grafton and going to check out the new Grafton and see what hiding spots, what cursed possession locations, what looping spots, and everything else there is to offer with a little bit of a sneak preview. Now from here, it starts talking about some of the Twitch drops and when you can expect that. There are going to be a next round of Twitch drops to mark this occasion, and it says the below Twitch drops will be available in both foil and animated format, as well as standard format. Timing for drops can be found below. So let's scroll down here a little bit. You can see here that we have the foil and animated is going to be available to Kinetic Game partners like myself. So if you watch my stream at _rotatorchip, you will be able to earn these badges and these rewards on August 7th and August 8th. So I will be streaming on Twitch on August 7th and on August 8th for you to be able to gain these badges if you want to get the animated one and the foil ID. For the standard versions, they're going to be available from anybody streaming Phasmophobia starting when the actual map releases. So if you see here, it says, please note the drops available via Kinetic partners, while able to be earned, will only be on your account once Grafton has launched on August 12th. So that's when you can expect that it's going to be available for all streamers and all standard users. August 12th will be the date, the same date that Grafton officially drops for everybody. And I have to tip my hat to the Kinetic Games partner team. I've been loving the Twitch drops. I think they're so cool. Allows the community to come together and view streams and just hang out and have a good time while getting some really cool ID badges. Here we have the Grafton badge, which you can see has a nice little like rustic wooden layout and a really cool wolf or maybe a feline badge ID there. Really cool stuff. I cannot wait to obtain it and have you all obtain it via the streams as well. Now going on to some of the information about Nell's Diner, the brand new map you can expect in Phasmophobia this year. And I will be showing some official, never before seen screenshots at the end of this video for this specific map, so stick around. Nell's Diner, serving the city of Tuscan, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our next map of Phasmophobia will be Nell's Diner, inspired by classic American diners. Nell's will offer something completely new for ghost hunters. We know how popular the game's smaller maps are with players, allowing for quicker but intense investigations full of memorable moments. And this location, which is slightly larger than 6 Tanglewood Drive, falls in line with that design. So this map will be just a little bit bigger than Tanglewood. And I'm very happy to see that Phasmophobia's dev team is focusing on smaller to medium-sized maps, because to be honest with you, if you ever go to the multiplayer lobby list and you ever look at public lobbies that are out there, and now with Chronicle, you can see what maps they have queued up, most of them are only playing Tangle, Willow, or Woodwind. Maybe occasionally you'll see Edgefield or Ridgeview, but you're really never going to see much other than that. So it seems like a majority of people's player base and a majority of people with their friends are playing on these smaller maps. So it's good to see that they're going to have another map to play with their groups that feel more comfortable with the smaller map sizes. Plus, you have to remember as well, it's just so much faster to be able to push out smaller maps or medium maps than it is to push out a bigger map. Like if they were going to make a whole carnival, for instance, that's one of the biggest, most favorable maps I see people try to actually recommend for the development team to make. Think about how long it would take to make a carnival or an abandoned cinema. It would take a long time. So pushing out a couple smaller maps once or twice a year is going to take so little time that it's going to be much better off for the community to see progressive things happen. So that's just my personal opinion on it. When it comes to introducing new maps to the game, one of our first thoughts is always, where should this take place? Combined with what we know is popular amongst players. Meaning, we're able to narrow our thoughts down, and Nell's Diner is a great example of exploring something brand new while still making sure we're starting off on the right foot for our players' experience. And when they're talking about this, one thing they're definitely recommending and they're bringing up here is, if you remember in Phasmophobia's official Discord back, I believe in February, don't hold me to that, I'm almost positive it was February though, they did have an open poll for everybody to be able to fill out, what kind of map would you like to see the Phasmophobia development team make? And this was one of the biggest options people came back with, a diner. So this came from the feedback and the suggestions of the player base via that poll. So always keep an eye out for open polls and feedback sections in the official Phasmo Discord, because your voice in this community really does matter. And we have our first look at that redacted picture that you saw in 2025's beginning roadmap in January. This is it. So Nell's Diner open 24/7. And I can tell you that this map is going to have quite a bit of hiding spots and looping spots that you're going to be able to utilize to your benefit, even though it is a smaller map. And I'm really, really excited to see something like this happen, because when you think of a diner, I don't automatically think paranormal. So the fact that it's kind of bringing us out of our elements and putting us in something different than an actual house that was owned by people, it's just a really interesting concept, and I'm really excited for that. Scrolling on down, it tells us a little bit about where we can find this diner environmentally. It says the diner itself is found stood alone along a winding desert highway, immediately serving up Phasmophobia's trademark sense of dread and curiosity. Our team have really explored something new for Phasmophobia with this map, and we can see it quickly becoming a favorite amongst players. While we won't go into many details today, we want to give you an idea of what you can expect when Nell's Diner opens up later this year. So it will be in 2025 guaranteed. It goes on to say this means that we've been able to create a more focused but dense experience for players. The map itself will consist of 13 unique rooms. 11 of them will be potential ghost rooms. So that means that there's a couple rooms in there that will not be able to have the ghost spawn in it. The rooms themselves have contrasting lighting. The front dining areas, for example, are appropriately well lit, while the back areas for employees and staff are run down and very dingy, and the outside is filled with neon lights to really illuminate and make it feel like things are happening. And it kind of gives you the sense of a real diner because that's kind of how it does it. It has those bright lights in the front of it to try to draw customers in. The inside is lit very well so people can eat and have that nice little atmosphere. But the back where the staff is kind of a little bit more run down. It needs a little bit of loving care. So I think this is great, and it really has a lot of realism, and I think it will have a lot of immersion for Phasmophobia players in their gameplay. One room we're particularly excited about is the freezer, which throws a curveball at players when identifying the ghost. How can you know if the ghost is present somewhere that's permanently cold? So the freezer is going to be acting regularly and realistically by always having a colder temperature. So therefore, if you want to know if the ghost is in that room, you better have some other sort of evidence or have it interact with something in there to give you a sign that it's present. One of the things that Phasmophobia currently has on their Trello roadmap, which we will get to a little bit later in the video, is a lore update coming to Phasmophobia, and it goes on to say another element we're excited for players to experience with Nell's Diner is our environmental storytelling, as seen both the scene outside as well as the recently abandoned diner itself, where food still sits warm and tables are cluttered with plates and cutlery. Something awful has taken place. What exactly has happened is, of course, up to you and the community to piece together. We're excited to hear your theory. So there's going to be lore in this map, and there's going to be something for the community itself to come together and try to understand the story of what has happened there, and there will be little Easter eggs laying behind for you to figure it out. As always, when Nell's Diner does launch, there's going to be availability for feedback for you to be able to say what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and changes will be made based on the feedback that has given. As I'm sure Grafton Farmhouse's Rework will have that opportunity as well inside the official Phasmophobia Discord. As for the official release date of Nell's Diner, we're going to keep it up in the air for right now to be able to work out some more things with this map's development on the back end side, and Phasmophobia's development team will give us official content creators more information as we know more to the closer date. Now, as I mentioned earlier, let's show you where in Bleasdale you could have seen the Easter egg to give you a hint that it was going to be a diner map in case you haven't seen it already. But I know for a fact some people in my community already figured it out, and I had to kind of bite my lip and just really play it off because I couldn't say anything about it, even though you brought it up to me, so I do apologize, but here we go. You're going to go inside, go through the foyer, head on into the living room, and right here on the coffee table or the center table, you can see there that it says Nell's Diner on Route 64 in Tuscan. So it gave you information about what the next map was going to be before it even happened and before you even knew. So always look for Easter eggs in Phasmophobia on what could be in the future, because they're definitely there. Here are some of the screenshots we can take a look at to get a little bit of a preview and a sneak peek at Grafton before I end up doing the actual sneak peek and the early access stream on August 7th, this upcoming Thursday. Here you have the foyer area when you first walk in, and you can see it has very high ceilings on the roof there, and you see the banister is all broken with other banisters being broken, a very eerie feeling with lots of dust floating around, and this is the entryway to Grafton Farmhouse. In this screenshot, we can see a preview of the dining room. The chandelier has fallen from the ceiling and has left a massive hole in the ceiling. The dining room table has been collapsed in the middle from that chandelier falling, and all the wallpaper and all the imaging is starting to fall off the walls due to just probably bad ventilation and bad air quality of things that's getting hot and cold, hot and cold. And we have a lot of cobwebs around as well. Here we can see a door leading into one of the bedrooms that has a very eerie vibe. As you can see that the lighting beyond that door is completely pitch black, but it does appear in the very background where I'm pointing right now like something is falling through the ceiling to really take out that room in general. What's behind the door? We're going to have to find out. This screenshot here was taken up in the attic in the storage area of Grafton Farmhouse, and as you can see straight through the roof up into the elements. Could you imagine this scene when you have Blood Moon on this map and seeing that big red sky or the rain or the snow falling through? It's going to be super cool. And as I said, a lot of the elements, depending on your weather, are going to be taking place inside the location due to how debris and how badly deteriorated this house is. And the last screenshot here is the front door, the entryway to Grafton Farmhouse itself. And it looks much darker and much more ominous and overgrown than the very luxurious Bleasdale does with its nice landscaping. So like I said, totally different map vibe, and I'm really excited for this one. Now let's look at some of the screenshots for Nell's Diner. The first screenshot of Nell's Diner really shows you how decorated and how detailed the diner tables inside are going to be. As you can see here, there's a piece of pie, there's a thing of waffles, and there's a milkshake there, and everything you would need to have a little bit of a meal, even utensils and a menu. So people really got up and left in a hurry out of this diner, but why? What is the story behind Nell's Diner, and what has transpired there in order for people to leave in such a hurry? And lastly, we can see some drink taps here, whether you're looking for a fountain drink or a coffee or an espresso. This is going to be behind the counter for worker staff to be able to fulfill drink orders, and it's all right here and ready to go, just like people are inside the diner waiting to be served right this very second. So the detail of this map is going to be top-notch, and we cannot wait to show you more information in the future. And here is the Trello board for Phasmophobia, which is a project management tool that the Phasmo development team actively does update and shows you what they're working on. And it has planned, concept phase, in progress, internal testing, closed beta, and release. Release means things that have already happened. Closed beta testing means that things that are about to release, hence Grafton Farmhouse Rework. Internal testing is things that are being tested to see if there's bugs or there's fixes that need to be done before going into closed beta testing. And in progress means things that they're actively trying to work on at this time. So here we have an internal testing and performance updates, Unity 6 engine upgrade. So they're going to be updating Unity to have better quality graphics and better quality performance overall. And in the in progress, we have the brand new location, which obviously is going to be Nell's Diner. We have player character overhaul. There's going to be new character models coming this year as well, with the character model overhaul, with new animations and new physics and everything you could expect there. Maybe possibly some sort of customization in the future to be able to customize your character. We have Halloween 2025, which is coming up rapidly. At this point, we're already in August of 2025. So you're going to blink your eyes. We're going to be here in October 2025. That's coming up very soon. And we can expect to see Blood Moon returning in maybe a little bit of a slightly different way for that Halloween event. And we have console additional language support coming. Network reworked, because we know some people are having some issues with networking and connectivity to Phasmophobia. Door physics improvements to change the way that doors work in Phasmophobia. Many of you may have seen some glitches and some bugs happening with doors, so hopefully those will be resolved with that particular update coming. We have Unity 6 lighting enhancement changes, which is going to really make the lighting in Phasmophobia pop. It'll look way more realistic and get rid of a lot of those lighting issues you see, where sometimes a light shines through a floor or through a wall and like light bleed through. It really should be fixing a lot of those things from the engine itself that the game is built off of. You have eye adaptation option for console, so you'll be able to see how light areas and dark areas come in and out with regular eye adaptation as PC users currently have. And we have VR support for eye adaptation coming as well. Now, moving into the conceptual phase tab here, these are things that are more than likely going to be coming either later this year or in 2026. First thing, Horror 2.0. Very conceptual. Things are being talked about how to make the game a little bit scarier, how to make the game a little bit more interactive, how to make the game more engaging, and to how make it more immersive for a real ghost hunting experience that it's not currently doing already. Tanglewood Rework. Tanglewood's Rework is going to be pushed out to next year. 2026 will have a reworked Tanglewood map. Lore update. This is something I mentioned with talking about the environmental storytelling of Nell's Diner. There is going to be lore in Phasmophobia. Something that myself and so many people in the community have asked for so long. Phasmophobia will have lore and give you the opportunity to dissect that lore and maybe even lead into the announcement that was given about Phasmophobia's movie and what the plot may be for that. Very exciting stuff. Then we have console keyboard and mouse support. So console players will be able to utilize keyboards and mouse on their console, which people have been asking for quite a lot for our Xbox and PlayStation users. And then anti-cheat. Phasmophobia will be getting an anti-cheat system to be able to remove the ability for people to use mod menus and to edit their Phasmophobia profile or their files. So that will be a big improvement, because sometimes you get into a public lobby with a hacker or a modder, and it can be very annoying indeed. And keeping Phasmophobia a safe and friendly place for all out there. Coming in the future roadmap, Edgefield, Ridgeview, and Willow will also be reworked with Tanglewood and everything else we've seen so far. Plus, new additional maps, just like Nell's Diner, to be added in the future as well. So more maps coming soon. Everything coming for Phasmophobia seems very exciting indeed. I am really happy with the direction the game has gone, and I cannot even begin to tell you how much I've been loving Chronicles Update. The game feels like it's so much more satisfying now to get a perfect investigation. The media system feels great for multiplayer and solo gameplay, allowing every single player in a multiplayer lobby to have a task, whether it's video, photos, sound recordings. Everybody has something to do. Or if you're the ghost finder trying to find that ghost room and trying to figure out what the ghost is. The game feels like it's becoming a more complete rotation for gameplay. And I have no doubt that in the future, with new maps and new equipment, this is going to only get further and further polished as we near closer to Horror 2.0 and the 1.0 release, where Phasmophobia comes out of early access. So thank you all so much for watching. Leave the comments in the comment section. Let me know your feedback and your thoughts. I would love to hear them. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Until I see you all next time, I hope you have some great ghost hunts. And as always, stay crispy.